All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take this nice and slow. I just got done dying in classic hardcore because a damn AoE mage just left my dumb ass to die. Not 100% certain if he tried to kill me or not, but he definitely did a good job of it if he wasn't trying to. That's for fucking sure. Anyways, what we're really going to be talking about today here. Oh, this guy's got all the runes. Okay. Chilling, man. Okay, okay. Hype, though. Let it rock. All right, bro. If you say so. Jesus Christ. So I just got done with the BlizzCon thing, right? Talking about the whole season of not season of mastery, season of exploration, or whatever the hell, discovery. There we go. All right, so the TLDR on it, in my assessment, is basically this. Uh, Blizzard does not care about PvPers in World of Warcraft whatsoever. Because the changes that they have made to all the classes and so forth and so on are going to completely and utterly and irrevocably, literally irrevocably, meaning cannot change it now, done, dusted, completely break PvP in Classic World of Warcraft, which is terrifying because in theory you shouldn't be able to break PvP in Classic World of Warcraft. You had to do something pretty horrific to be able to do it, but I'll explain why it's completely busted in a second here. What else do I want to say here? The other thing that I find absolutely fascinating about Blizzard is that it's been like 4, 5 years. It's going on 5 years, I do believe. But they absolutely cannot give us a classic, fresh, no changes server. They seem incapable of doing it. I don't know if it's their ego or they're just stupid or something, but they just don't seem to be able to do it. Which is really, really sad and really, really painful if you actually stop and think about it here for a second. I watched Asmongold's reaction. His concern is that Blizzard is doing too much, that they're changing too much, and in his opinion, his concern is that they're changing way too much in the game. And I'm going to tell you straight up, as a PvPer, they might as well have taken PvP and basically flushed it down the toilet. All right, so let's get into details. Here are the Paladin changes specifically. Let's see here. Peaceblade was nice enough to send us this link, which has all the changes. Maybe that'll be helpful. Okay, yeah, Hunter. What the hell is this? Priest, Season of Discovery. Okay, Warlock, Runes. One thing I find gnarly about Warlock is they gave them Chaos Bolt. It's hard for you guys to see here. I'll just read it for you. Engrave your gloves. Power a Chaos Bolt. Sends a bolt of chaotic fire at the enemy, dealing almost 300 fire damage. Chaos bolts always hit, cannot be resisted, and its knowledge causes all of your fire spells to pierce through absorption effects. Okay, that's cute. But anyways, basically what they did was they gave all classes the ability to find these runes, and basically you can enchant different pieces of your gear with runes, and then they're telling us that as you get higher levels, you can enchant even more and more pieces of your gear with runes. And basically, it just means that you get access to a bunch of different spells depending upon what things you want to put where. All right, cool, adorable. I need to double check to see if the Paladin thing actually is what I think it is, because that one's kind of covered real fast. Druid runes, Rogue runes, Shaman runes. Fuck, do I need to look at Shaman runes? Holy crap. Where the hell are the Paladins? So we got Hunter, we got Priest, we got Warlock, we got Mage, we got Druid, we got Warrior, we got Rogue, we got Shaman. Where the hell is the Paladin? I gotta scroll all the way down. Paladin just doesn't exist. So Paladin's just a special boy. He's not here, huh? Are we sure about this or am I crazy? Rogue, Warrior, Druid, Mage, Warlock, Priest, Hunter. Just no Paladin. Okay, so I guess Paladin's just the special boy. Alright, MS Paint it is. Alright, so let's talk about the things they gave Paladin that are absolutely terrible. From a PvP perspective, right? All of this stuff that they gave Paladin is perfectly fine from a PvE perspective. You can't really mess up PvE. The problem is they haven't restricted this stuff, to my knowledge, just to PvE. It's just going to be available to all Paladins. So I'll start off with Divine Storm. Engrave your chest with Divine Storm Rune, an instant weapon attack that causes 110% of weapon damage to up to 4 enemies within 8 yards. It's literally Divine Storm. The Divine Storm heals up to 3 raid members for 25% of the damage cost. It's fucking Divine Storm, which means I have to assume it's also got like a 10-second cooldown. Awesome. Then scroll down a little bit more. We have Exorcism. It says engrave your pants with Exorcism. You'll notice I have these things marked in red. Why? Because you can have all of them at the same time. Exorcism can now be cast on any target. And then I can't really read it very well at that point. Then it says, increase critical strike chance against undead and demons. But you can now use Exorcism on any target. Whoa, wait, what the fuck? Okay, so those 2 abilities are straight out of classic Wrath of the Lich King. Jesus Christ. They have Seal of Martyrdom, which is also Seal of Blood from TBC. I'll read it for you. Enchant your chest, so you can't use this along with Divine Storm. Fills you with the Holy Spirit for 30 seconds to seal, causing each of your attacks to deal 30% of your weapon damage up to 3 nearby targets. So it's also AoE, which is gnarly. But you lose health equal to 10% of the damage inflicted. While the seal is active, your party members within 40 yards each gain mana equal to 2% of all the damage you take. Cool. Unleashing the seal's energy will judge an enemy, instantly causing, listen to this, 70% weapon damage at the cost of health equal to 10% of the damage. 70% of weapon damage is actually a little intense. It's not as much as you think it would be in Classic WoW, but it's still kind of insane, just FYI. Depends on what the underlying mechanics are of this stupid thing. Then you can also take Avenger's Shield. It's literally Avenger's Shield. Enchant your pants with Avenger's Rune. Okay, so this Avenger's Shield is at least in conflict with enchanting the pants with Exorcism. So that means I can control Z that away, I think. Wow, that did not help at all. All right, cool. So at least they're in conflict. But then you can also take Crusader Strike. And then I'll put in orange Seal of Martyrdom. And then Avenger's Shield. Because Avenger's Shield does daze targets right now. So it says, hurls a shield at the enemy, dealing holy damage, dazing them, and jumping to additional nearby enemies. Affects 3 total targets. And this one is nice enough to tell it so that it does, in fact, have a 10-second cooldown. 10-second cooldown on an ability like this is absolutely insane. We got Crusader Strike over here. Enchant your gloves, not enchant, engrave your gloves with Crusader Strike rune and instant strike that causes 70% of weapon damage and regenerates 2% of your maximum mana. I have to assume that's on the traditional Crusader Strike cooldown of 6 seconds, but it might be the Wrath, I think it is, 4-second Crusader Strike. Here's why all of this absolutely screams, we do not care about PvP. PvPers in Classic WoW, go fuck yourselves. Because they're giving all these different abilities to all these different classes, and a lot of them are DPS increasers. Mages can heal now, by the way. Because they're DPS increasers, or not just the DPS thing. Classic WoW always was balanced on a knife's edge as far as PvP balance was concerned. I'm sure you've noticed it in the Makara duels. I'm sure you've noticed it in every dueling tournament that's ever been done. There is a very delicate balance in Classic World of Warcraft where any increase in DPS whatsoever will basically break the game. So what I'm trying to tell you all is that one of these classes with all of these of their new abilities is going to absolutely dominate every other class in Classic World of Warcraft in PvP, and it's not even going to be close. And I'm telling you right now, what I'm looking at here, it tells me that class that's going to absolutely crush everybody and laugh at every other class in the game is probably going to be Paladin. I'm telling you right now. I've taken a glance at the other abilities. Like I can do it here in a second in real time, but nothing really compares to what the fuck they've done to Paladin here. Holy shit. So to give you an idea of Paladin balance in Classic World of Warcraft, right? Basically, traditionally there's been 3 main types of Paladin. There's Holy Reckoning, there's Ret Reckoning, and then there's Deep Ret. And Reckoning always was the most lethal of all three of those paladins from a sheer lethality perspective. So, for example, when a Reckoning paladin gets on top of you, if they're able to put a wreck bomb into you, there's almost no class in the game that can survive their wreck bomb. You need to have male gear or better to be able to survive. So like hunter, male gear, right? But even a hunter will get deleted out of existence like 50% of the time. Why is this? Well, it's because they're hitting you with 5 white attacks instantaneously. They're virtually guaranteed to get 1 Seal of Command proc in there, so that's like 6 attacks that they're nailing you with. And they can also seal twist Seal of Righteousness in there as well, which in this case you might be able to seal twist Martyrdom in there as well, God forbid. But they can seal twist Righteousness in there for an additional like 600 damage. To the point where it's like, unless you have better male armor or better, you're just literally getting deleted out of existence. There's almost no class in the game other than warriors. It's shamans, warriors, paladins, and 50-50 chance on hunters that they can survive a wreck bomb from Reckoning Paladin. And now you're telling me that we're getting additional things like my Exorcism can be used on any target. I can also use Exorcism and Divine Storm at the same time. Oh, also, by the way, I'm giving you Crusader Strike. Like, yo, what the fuck, dog? How is anybody supposed to survive this shit? What if I'm able to seal twist Martyrdom and Crusader Strike at the same time? How does anybody survive? The answer is nobody's going to survive this. That's from a Reckoning Paladin's perspective. Nobody was already surviving Reckoning attacks. Now they're super duper de-duper times 10 not surviving any Reckoning attacks. Okay, cool. What does that do for Holy Reckoning? Let's talk Holy Reckoning. So Holy Reckoning always was in a very interesting situation in classic World of Warcraft, PvP at least, because they were always just shy of being able to do what Reckoning Paladins are able to do consistently. So, for example, if you gave a Holy Reckoning Paladin 500 extra damage, like you just snapped your fingers and you gave them extra 500 damage, they would be deleting just about any. They would kill any and every class in the entire game, like it wasn't even a problem. Why? Because at that point, mages are not surviving your wreck bomb anymore. At that point, there's so many classes that are not surviving a Holy Reckoning's wreck bomb anymore. They're just going to obliterate you. They're going to delete you out of existence. But because they weren't quite able to do enough damage to kill people, what would happen is a Holy Reckoning Paladin would wreck bomb somebody. They would barely survive with like 500, 600 HP. And then they'd whip a root, healing potion, back up to full, or they would CCU, yada yada, and they would go for a reset. So they could at least survive the wreck bomb, unlike a Reckoning Paladin. But again, you allow us to use Exorcism on any target. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. My Exorcism in my Holy Paladin build gear hits for something stupid, like 1200 holy damage. Like, what the fuck? Nobody's surviving a Holy Reckoning Paladin. Are you insane? That's off of Exorcism alone. If you give the Holy Reckoning Paladin Crusader Strike, they're going to kill everybody and their dog. Shit, you give them Divine Storm, Crusader Strike, and Exorcism, everybody is super fucking dead. If Seal of Martyrdom can be twisted along with Seal of Righteousness, everybody also fucking dies. Any one of these abilities will cause paladins to become psychotically over. They're just going to delete you when they touch you. Okay, the only two paladins that this isn't really true for is Deep Holy and Deep Ret. Now, Deep Ret does have the advantage that they have Repent, which means they can get on top of you and they can start plugging you with damage much better than the other variants of Paladin, right? Oh dear God. If you give a deep... Alright, so the only way Deep Holy Paladin kills anybody is they have to time on target you to death, and they're actually really, really good at it. Deep Holy Paladins are extremely good at time on targeting people to death. I should know, I've basically been playing a Deep Holy Paladin for all of Classic World of Warcraft because I never actually got a decent two-handed weapon. I'll zoom in a little bit here. A decent two-handed weapon. So I'm painfully aware of how good Deep Holy is at killing people. The only class that Deep Holy Paladins can't really deal with all that well, specifically, is Mage, because they just can't do enough damage in the burst to kill a Mage. But you start giving them things like Divine Storm, you start giving them being able to Seal Twist Martyrdom, you start giving them Exorcism, you start giving them Crusader Strike. They are going to do terrible, 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 evil, horrifying, dear fucking God, what is this shit things to mages. And I am not joking. Oh, also there's Rebuke up here, and enchant your pants with Rebuke. Interrupts spell casting and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 2 seconds. That's an enchantment to pants, which means it is in what's the term? Conflict, mutual opportunity costed against Avenger Shield and Exorcism. So you can tell people to shut the hell up in their spell casting, or you can have the Exorcism thing, or you can have Avenger Shield. I'm not entirely sure which one is better for dealing with mages. So how Rebuke would work versus mages is basically they're going to cast a sheep on you. You can physically get on top of them. You tell them to shut the hell up. Basically, it'll give you like an extra auto attack and possibly an extra GCD because you're telling them to shut the hell up with Rebuke. But meanwhile, Exorcism and Avenger Shield could just be blasting them at range constantly, which is absolutely terrifying, especially at the higher levels. Nothing here is balanced for PvP. It might be decently balanced for PvP at level 25, which is their current level cap that they're planning on having. But come level 35 and we have access to Reckoning. Holy fuck. Prepare your ass, because it's going to be World of Palicraft. Holy shit. Nobody is surviving anything. Are you fucking insane? What are you doing? But anyways, you give a Holy Paladin, Deep Holy Paladin, something like Divine Storm, Exorcism, Crusader Strike. They're just going to start murdering everybody. And no, I'm not joking. They are literally just going to start absolutely deleting everybody and their dog. Like, basically what's going to happen is when you physically get on top of a mage, rather than tickling them anymore, you're going to be blasting them with Exorcism constantly. You're going to be Divine Storming and Crusader Striking on them and bitch slapping them a couple times before they can sheep you. I hope their healing is good enough to deal with that. I'm going to go look at it in a second, but I'm willing to bet it's not. Or instead, you can just take Rebuke and tell them to shut the hell up. Deep Holy Paladins might actually be able to kill mages, and I am not joking. It would probably be really nasty if they don't take Divine Storm, and instead they take Seal of Martyrdom, assuming it can be twisted with Seal of Righteousness. So that gives us a twist opportunity. That was one of the big things that was keeping Seal of Righteousness and Seal of Crusader in check for Deep Holy and Holy Reckoning, was the fact that we didn't have another damage seal to twist with. But if they want to give us one, then fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. So you get on top of the mage, you bitch slap him, you Crusader Strike him, you get yourself a nice little a seal twist action going there. You probably can't do it because it's a GCD thing at the same time, but whatever. And then you just blast his ass with Exorcism. Holy crap, Exorcism is going to do so much fucking damage. I just can't. I can't. Anyways, Deep Rep Paladins. Deep Rep Paladins, the math on them always was, when you geared them correctly, they had about an 18% chance per auto attack that they could do enough damage in that single auto attack that they could then pull the trigger on additional things and try to delete people out of existence. Right? That was always the math on Deep Ret was basically like an 18% chance when you touch somebody that you can snowball that damage into killing them in rapid succession, especially with all the CC and interrupts and stuff that you had. You start giving them things like Crusader Strike. You're going to double the likelihood of that as is, assuming Crusader Strike proc seals like it's always done. You give them Divine Storm. See, Divine Storm is saying an instant weapon attack that causes blah. Divine Storm, you're going to double the likelihood that they get to pull the trigger on some offense. In fact, the math is probably even better, so now it's probably like a 25% chance times 2 that they can pull the trigger because you're giving them an additional auto attack. Jesus fucking Christ, you give them Exorcism or you give them the ability to do Twist Seal of Martyrdom. They're just going to delete everybody. They are going to straight up fucking delete everybody. Like, what are we doing? Like, Blizzard, what the fuck are we doing? We don't care about PvP balance at all? Get fucked? Alright, cool. Understood. Paladin's just going to kill everybody. Got it. Dunzo. Let's go look at Mage's healing capability here real fast, if I can pull this up at all. I got a little bit bigger. Alright. I'll try to... I'm literally... My eyes are like 6 inches away from the screen right now. Mass Regeneration. Engrave your pants with Mass Regeneration rune. This is for mages. Heals all of target players' party members within 15 yards of the target player for about, 262. So that's like 25% of people's health at level 25. All right, cool. Over 3 seconds and applies Temporal Beacon to each target for 15 seconds. Temporal Beacon records the subject's space-time position. 100% of all arcane damage done by the caster will be converted to chromatic healing and divided among the caster's current temporal beacons. Temporal beacon to each target for 15 seconds. Okay, what target? Heals all of the target player's party members. Okay, so that includes yourself, I imagine. Records the subject. Okay, caster can be converted. Records the subject space-time position. What? Temporal beacon to each target for 15 seconds. So, what? 100% of all arcane damage done by the caster will be converted to chromatic healing divided among. Okay, divided among. So if it's only you, then you're going to get shit tons of healing among the caster's current temporal beacons. Alright, so this is what this basically is telling me is that mages, as long as they're doing arcane damage, can heal like a motherfucker. That's all I'm seeing right there. Which is really good, but it's not going to save them from being deleted out of existence from a paladin. Awesome. They gave them Ice Lance. That was cute. I don't know what to tell you guys. I want to see what they gave Shamans, because it's the only class that I can possibly see having any chance of being like king shit besides Paladin at this point. Let's see. Water Shield, that's not going to do anything. Lava Lash, oh fuck. Engrave your gloves with Lava Lash, offhand weapon with lava, instant causing one-hand weapon. Okay, so enhancement shamans are a little bit better. Molten Blast. Blast enemies in a cone in front of you for fire damage. This ability generates a high amount of threat. Flame Shock. Periodic damage has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown of Molten Blast. Cool. Lava Burst. Oh, geez. Here we go. Enchant Gloves. Hurl a molten lava at the target, dealing a shit ton of fire damage. If your Flame Shock is on the target, is a critical strike. It's literally Lava Burst. Awesome. They also got Earth and Shield. Jesus Christ. So it's basically classic. This is all Wrath of the Lich King stuff that I'm seeing it this way. Rockbiter Weapon starts doing some good stuff here. Shamanistic Rage. Fucking hell. They gave him Shamanistic Rage. Okay, so they weren't hard enough to kill as is. Okay, that's cute. Ancestral Guidance. Healing Rain. Fuck off. They gave them Healing Rain. Okay, that's cute. That's literally, let me read it just to make sure that's Cataclysm, if I recall. Select scenario area 15 yards, or select the area 15 yards around, heals all target players and members within the area for 20 seconds. Yeah, it's Healing Rain. Shield Mastery, each time you block or generate mana. Yeah, they'll let them be able to tank now. They gave them the ability to dual wield, so now they can dual wield in Classic WoW. You guys recall what I told you about fucking dual wielding in previous videos and how broken and overpowered dual wielding is. So enhancement shamans are going to be ripping fucking people's faces off. And they have Overload. It gives lightning bolts a chance. Lightning bolt, chain lightning, chain heal, healing wave, and lava burst spell. A 33% chance to cast a second similar spell at the same target at no additional cost. Half damage. Okay, so elemental shamans, if they weren't deleting people out of existence before, they're back with a fucking vengeance. Cool. So basically, this is not balanced for PvP whatsoever. So if you enjoy PvE, play Season of Discovery. If you enjoy PvP, stay the hell away from this like it was cancerous, plagued ass. Anyways, I'm the end of the video here, and day is full, boys. Who the fuck gave them overload. I gotta go tell Rain about this. Holy shit! What the fuck? What are you thinking? They just do more damage now. Adorable. All right, I'm gonna end the video here and Day of Soul, boys.